And now I'm back to talk about writing business school admissions essays. Uh, so previously I talked about law school applications, and business school applications are a kind of are quite there are quite a few similarities, but then there are also some large standout differences. One of those big differences being that applicants to business schools will have typically a minimum of 5 years of work experience. So the review process for applications is going to be different, right? It's going to be based not just on what the applicant did in an academic setting, but also what they did in the quote unquote real world, what accomplishments they have in the business world, if they came from the business world, or whatever type of work or endeavor they came from. And having said that, there are traditional students and there are non-traditional students to MBA programs. The traditional students typically come from analyst programs in finance and consulting firms, other corporations. Some schools accept quite a few people out of military careers. They tend to make strong leaders. They're used to leading troops. And then the non-traditional students really come from any other industry, ones that you typically wouldn't think of when you think of a business manager. One example of that is when I was in business school, one of my classmates was a professional musician, a soloist, a violinist, and so like any other academic program, business schools are also looking to diversify, and they're looking for people that bring different perspectives. And my friend that was a musician, he was successful in that he was able to obviously differentiate himself, and then also explain how his different perspective and different kind of methodology can be used to solve real world business problems. So let's start the presentation. Oh. Okay, so here's a presentation on business school admissions essays. And a lot of this is going to sound very similar because actually it is quite similar to other graduate school admissions processes, but there are differences, and that is because the applicant pool is different. Second, all right. So one of the things that admissions committees are looking for in their business school, the MBA program applicants, is leadership potential. Does a candidate show leadership potential? And not just potential, but often these candidates will have demonstrable leadership achievements, things that they have actually accomplished in their career goals. I mean, within their careers thus far. They're obviously looking for how the applicant is differentiated from the rest of the applicant pool, and they're also looking for demonstration of business skills, business acumen. But these business skills can be acquired outside of the business world, right? I mean, I talked about how my musician friend related how music can help him solve problems in a totally different industry, in a business. Oops. Okay. So again, when it comes to the prompt, you want to think very carefully about what the question is asking. Are they trying to get an idea of leadership experiences, your career goals? There are usually questions about ethics. Ethics is a big part of business school curricula these days because really because of um, huge ethical and moral issues within corporates that blew up and affected really entire economies. There was a WorldCom and Enron in the U.S. There's some very large ones all over the world. Can't really think of any other examples right now. And then some of the key themes that the prompts for these business schools applications are looking into are themes like, as I mentioned, leadership, teamwork is a very big theme. Almost everything, almost all of your coursework in a business school program will be team-based. You'll be working with teams of fellow students to get projects done. And the great thing about that is that people bring different perspectives and different skills into the project. And that's really what admissions committees in the business school are looking for. They're looking for people with different backgrounds, skills, strengths, so that together the team can achieve what they can't achieve individually. Again, make sure your essay answers a prompt directly and reflects a specific focus area that the business school is of the business school that you're applying to. And then you need to choose a topic that reflects your mindset. Is your focus going to be leadership and impact? Things that you've done as a leader, projects that you've managed. Or is your focus going to be a professional milestone or milestones, things that you've achieved in your goal, and how an MBA can help you achieve beyond or a further set of milestones? Is your focus going to be bring a unique perspective to the program, like from a completely unrelated industry? Because these, as I mentioned, as I mentioned, and as any business school faculty will tell you, different perspectives bring fresh ideas to problems, and that's often how problems are solved, by just looking at a problem from a completely different angle than what has been done in the past. Again, structuring your essay, the basic structure: introduction, body paragraphs, clear sections, highlighting business experience, leadership, innovation, planning, or if you're writing about experience outside of the business world, you could use a different organizational method, maybe based on time or based on different achievements that you've accomplished within that industry. Using supporting evidence. Evidence in the business world is often quantifiable. It's like sales have been increased by a certain amount. That's probably the most often used supporting evidence in terms of improving a business, increasing sales, increasing the bottom line. And you want to conclude by linking your experiences to your future goals and how an MBA from the school will help you achieve those goals. So writing with a business-oriented focus, these kind of elements of style are similar to what we went over with the law school personal statement, and being concise, being direct, using active voice. The difference here is that business school admissions committees really appreciate the use of metrics. If you can use metrics to illustrate achievements, manage a certain size budget, let a team of this size, and again, you want to maintain a professional tone. But even through this professional tone, you want to make sure that your passion, your personality are still there, right? And again, you can do that by going through repeated drafts and making sure that the tone is consistent and the voice is consistent throughout those drafts. And demonstrating fit with the business school's culture and values. Again, this is accomplished through research. Finding out the school's focus, what their strengths are, what kind of programs they're known for, what kind of values they have. And when you find out these things, it will really inform you on what the admissions committee is looking for in candidates to their program. An example: the emphasis on global business at this school aligns with my goal of leading cross-cultural teams in a multinational corporation. Some schools have a generalist focus. Some schools have a marketing focus. So just really doing your research and making sure that is clearly, that you write clearly about that in your essays for the school. Being specific, again, avoiding general statements. It's just good advice in any type of writing, really. Focusing on how the school's unique offerings will help you achieve your goals. Specific courses, you can name faculty that you want to study with, or faculty whose research maybe you've read. Student organizations that you wish to be a part of, or that you believe you can contribute to. And refining your essay, again, it's multiple revisions. When you go through revisions, iteration by iteration, you're ensuring clarity, coherence, and impact. Proofreading, this is really basic, right? You just want to make sure you don't have any grammatical errors, spelling errors. Feedback. So when you're writing business school application essays, getting feedback from a mentor within businesses that you've worked at can be very, very helpful, especially because they can later on write a recommendation for you. But also they will be familiar with your body of work within the corporation. They can help you come up with ideas on how to improve your essay, and then later on they can write from firsthand experience a letter of recommendation that comes at a later point, right? Consistency in messaging. Make sure your essay consistently communicates your goals, your qualities, your leadership qualities, and why you're a good fit for the program. Pitfalls to watch for. Again, vague statements. You don't want to waste wordage in your essay on making a vague or general statement. Now, some people overly use business jargon in order to demonstrate knowledge of an industry. This can get very tiring for a reader, so I strongly advise against that. It also just kind of comes across as bravado or bragging. Repeating your resume, again, your resume is already a part of your application file. You should take the opportunity in your essays to write about something that's adding dimension to your application. And an exaggeration that's kind of it's easily sniffed out if a person is exaggerating numbers or achievements. It just comes across as inauthentic, and you want to avoid that at all costs in your essays. So, final thoughts on your business school application essays. Again, start early. You need to go through repeated drafts, iterations. It's going to improve each time. You're going to make sure, you're going to have built-in consistency, voice, and you can also make sure that everything that you need you need to answer the prompt is in there. Authenticity, again, just, business schools are looking for real people with real experiences, insights. And, there's no such thing as a perfect candidate that's just going to come across as being inauthentic. And finally, trusting the value of your journey and your ability to contribute to a business school class, and convey that in your essays for the business school program that you're applying to. Okay, so that is the end of that presentation. And let's see. I think we are done for today. So these are pretty general introductions to admissions essay writing for law school and business school. And we're going to have additional webinars that will drill down deeper into specific areas of essay writing and how to perfect your essay for the schools that you want to get into. So thank you very much for your time and attention.